welcome back. This week we're going to show you how I skin a camper with wood. What I'm using is a 2.7 millimeter utility plywood. It's actually sold as a Luan, but I've been very fortunate and been able to find some really nice wood grain on it, so I just keep using it. And it bends real nice and easy, as you'll see in this video. I've only found it at one place, and that's one of the big box stores, Home Depot, and not all of them carry it, so you'll have to call around. You'd be lucky if you find it. I did have a couple of questions that I think I should address before we go further, and I'm going to include some pictures. Somebody asked me why I put the spacers in between the spars, and I think that was in the last video or the video before that. The reason I do that is so when you put your trim on the outside after you skin it, it has a nice thick area to screw into. I found that if you don't add them spacers, even with 3/4 inch plywood, the screws sometimes have a tendency to hit the side of there or just barely catch the edge, and they don't really seat real nice. So I like to double that up. And another advantage is when you install the wood skin on the inside is that you have more of a surface area to staple to. The next thing I want to go over is more of a tip. When you go to put your walls up on the side of the trailer, I know this is a little after the fact, but when you go to put them up, you can use your cutoffs. This is an outrageously huge one, but this is a cutoff off of the build that I'm working on now. But you can take those, and I'll include a picture as well, and use them to keep the wall square to the floor until you can get your spars in. So I figured I'd go over that right now before you get too far in, into the build, and maybe it's too late by that time. Maybe it is now, and if it is, I apologize, but I did want to go over it. So without taking up any more of your time, let's get to it. What we're doing today, we took some of the roof material, we cut it to a couple inches wider than the camper just to get it close. We're going to trim it with a router. Install it with a couple screws on the bottom. We're going to stretch it up and attach it with a couple screws at the top just to hold it there. Then we're going to chalk some lines where all the spars are. You can see I marked where all the spars are on the wall. So we'll chalk some lines. Then we'll release the screws at the top, fold it back, and glue everything, and then take it one at a time, starting at the bottom, working our way up from the inside out until we get to the top. So we've already got it to the camper in 4 screws at the bottom. Those screws will come out after everything's said and done. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to push so it stays flat and we get an accurate place for it to rest. we're going to do, we're going to take the screws out of the top again, fold it back, and glue each spar and staple as we go. Gotta have the door closed. It's super windy outside, and I got tie back on my ceiling, and it makes all kinds of noise. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's nice and clean and smooth. Now just take the router over it Gotta get some of this excess glue off so it don't clog up my router bit. Run a router over that edge and it's gonna be beautiful. Short of some little burrs, which is really no big deal. I'll hit it with a palm sander just on the edges. That piece is done. On to the next. So we got another one cut. We're going to pretty much do the same thing. We're going to start here, lay it over the back, and lay it down because it's mostly flat. So we'll just be getting it started will be the tricky part. And after that, it goes pretty smooth. pretty much how it's done. So, like I said, I'll hit the edges with the palm sander, right all this with the router, just like we did the bottom piece, and then you drill a hole from the inside out, a 1/2-inch hole for your fan, and take the router and do that too. And you do the same thing on the other side, and continue it back to the hatch, and that's how you do it with the wood skin. So next after this, we're going to start on some cabinetry. Alright, so I'm going to finish this up, and I'll bring you guys back. Alright, so we've got the whole roof done now, and we'll pan out and show you. But I'm going to show you how I route out the hole for the Fantastic fan. Basically, it all works the same. Kind of coming close on this. What I'm using here is a bottom bearing flush trim bit. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. That's the best tool you'll ever buy for yourself for a router. I do the Phylon with it, I do the wood with it, I do a lot of work with it. So we'll go ahead, and you want to hand me the camera, please? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had a great angle going. I didn't know you were going inside. Look out! Grab that, it's heavy. So, kind of give you an idea, she was doing a great job. I should have just let her do it. Here's the inside, which she was trying to do, and I rudely interrupted her. So, there's the edges, and let me get down, and we'll show you the side. Nice and smooth. Get up here. And then there's your whole thing. So it's done and in wood. Now it's almost ready for skin, but we're going to work on the cabinets next, and then probably the hatch. Hey, thanks for hanging out with me. Next week I think we're going to be taking on some cabinetry, or the bulkhead. I haven't decided yet, but I want to thank you for hanging out with me. Give me a thumbs up. That's what gets the videos out. Thumbs down. Leave a comment what you didn't like, and we'll try to address it. And until next week, build on.